So Tampa, was I right? Yeah.
Florida's most ways to play. Go to visitTampaBay.com.
Welcome to PCMA TV, produced by CNTV. I'm Carrie Fairneck.
And I'm Kimberly Bottom. Welcome to EduCon. I'm so excited. It's my very first one.
You are going to love it. It's great education, as always, from PCMA in a bit more of an intimate setting.
Looking forward to it. Well, I know that this week it's really all about professionals showing how their meetings can drive business growth.
That's right. You're going to see the theme of trying to go from tactical planning to strategic thinking. I had a chance to catch up with Chairman of the Board, Bill Reed, about this topic earlier today.
Really, where as a professional we can add to the value we deliver to the organization is by being an active leader in strategy rather than having some other group determine that and our profession be the implementer. We have the capacity to do both, and in the future, tomorrow, that's going to be the expectation of all of us, so we better be prepared now.
So much learning to be done right here and in such a cool town.
I love St. Louis. I've been here for conventions before. You've got sights, you've got great food, and the nightlife. I mean, look at the view here we have from the Hilton 360 Bar and Restaurant.
St. Louis is a terrific destination for meetings. It's easy to get to and it's easy to get around, and the product is fantastic. We have a beautiful convention center for those groups that need convention center space, but the hotel product downtown and in some of the suburban communities and at the airport is really spectacular. Much of it's been renovated, it's all fresh product, and there's a lot of activity that goes on in those areas where the hotels are, so people have a lot of fun things to do in their free time. And it's the birthplace of the blues, so the music of the blues and the jazz and rock and roll. Chuck Berry is still alive and well in St. Louis, and he is the father of rock and roll. So the music and the nightlife and the food scene here is amazing.
Before you head out the door, make sure you download the PCMA app and click on the Education Conference tab. You're going to find schedules, you're going to find things to do in St. Louis, and of course you're going to find PCMA TV highlights there as well. The app also has everything you need for social media, so keep the conversation going online by using the hashtag PCMAEC.
And we'll have updated content throughout the week right here on PCMA TV. Right now we want to hear a message from our sponsor, Visit Tampa Bay. Welcome back to PCMA TV, everybody. I'm Carrie Fairneck, joined now by Deborah Sexton, President and CEO of PCMA. We're talking about Brexit. Now that the UK has decided to leave the European Union, what has PCMA's response been to this pretty surprising decision?
Well, we are conducting interviews, and we are obviously reaching out to all of our global planners to talk to them about where they see this affecting their particular organizations. However, this was a very close vote, and I think it's going to take us and the industry several months to really analyze what this means to the European and the global professional planners. And I think our job is to constantly keep people as up to date as possible about what we're hearing, what we're seeing. But again, it's a little early, and we're hearing lots of things, quickly that may or may not hold in the 60 to 90 day time frame that we're talking about.
Are there specific things that global event organizers should be looking for? Things you're keeping an eye on to kind of gauge what the response will be?
Well, certainly currency fluctuation is something that they have to be looking at and analyzing very carefully, particularly if they have something coming up in the short term. What does this mean, and how is this going to impact them? And is there an opportunity to buy currency to protect themselves? So I think that's something we have to look at. You know, I sit back, and I must say I was probably a little surprised, but I'm now getting a sense that there's a global discomfort, maybe even anger, in the world today about how business has been conducted. And we're seeing it in the United States, we're now seeing it in Europe. And I think that's what's driving so many of these types of decisions. Hopefully, the decisions are not just being driven in that regard, but that they're understanding the consequences that might come on the heels of something like this. So I'm fascinated to watch what happens in the near future. And again, we will be there delivering every possible bit of information we can to enable our members and other global planners to successfully execute worldwide.
Absolutely. So really, big picture, it's sort of be open to change and no knee-jerk reactions, right? Let's take our time before we decide how this is going to impact. Right. And if you have a show planned in the UK in the near future, could be a benefit, right?
Probably going to save some money. Yeah.
So there is a positive, that is for sure. Deborah, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Right here on PCMA TV.
Fast, effective, powerful. Custom TV content from CNTV starts the buzz at your event, creates year-round content, and opens new revenue opportunities with sponsors. Find out how at cntvnow.com.
Hi everybody, I am joined now by Carrie Johnson, who's the Senior Program Manager for PCMA. And Carrie, we are talking about crowdsourcing. Yes. I know this is the second year that PCMA has done that here at Education Conference. Tell me what's new and different this year.
So last year, it was a crowdsourced learning experience that was led by our facilitator, and everyone was in the same room, as kind of whether you liked it or not. Submit your topics. It was low tech. We had people write things on Post-its. And this took place all within about a few hours. We had the committee curate the topics, and then we pushed them into the schedule for the afternoon programming. So this year we're taking a different stance and having it more sort of be organic. And as you're going through the program on Monday, you can submit topics for Tuesday. And then what we've done is also ask questions through the registration form about getting the topic that's top of mind for everyone. And we use that to program Monday's content. So it's really a two-phased approach. Getting topics to put in for Monday's program, and then allowing people to, as they're going through the first day, kind of what's really rising to the top for them. And if there's not a session planned on that, then they can submit it through the app and vote. As well, if they don't have a topic idea but really want to see what's coming in. So we can give them an opportunity to engage as well.
Wow, last year I was really excited to facilitate a conversation, and it was a quick turnaround.
Yes.
So I think a lot of folks are going to be excited to hear there might be some more time, right? And
Yep.
What if event organizers want to try this themselves? What advice do you have for them?
Well, it's really sort of boils down to about three things. It's really thinking about your program strategy, and does it make sense? and where does it make sense, and how you can best incorporate that into some of the other topics and content areas that you're going to have in your program. The second key area is to figure out, do you want it to be low tech or use like your mobile app or something else like that to collect ideas and collect topics. So it's really thinking about how do you want to gather those ideas. And then the last one is just having a good backup plan. This year our backup plan was gathering topics through registration. And so we were able to have the committee curate those first discussion topics, and then if we need to pull some more topics from that list, we have it already at our fingertips.
Fantastic. Always a good idea to have a backup, and I know that the information about how this year's crowdsourcing goes will be available as a resource for attendees, right?
Yes, we're including our PCMA's plan of how we were promoting it, our sort of phased approach, and we'll share some of the outcomes of this experience afterwards.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Carrie, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it right here on PCMA TV.
I'm Kimberly Bottom for PCMA TV. I'm joined now by Michelle Russell and Barbara Palmer of Convene Magazine. Ladies, we're here at EDUCON 2016, and we're going to talk about some of the recent surveys in Convene Magazine. Tell me what we can expect.
Sure. Well, we just have the opportunity to talk to planners and find out. We have these insights from our survey results, and we want to hear what planners think of those insights. Are we interpreting things correctly? So the first one is the Meetings Market Survey, and one of the insights we got from that survey is that planners are being asked to make a lot of cuts. So to cut back on their F&B costs, their shuttle services, and other aspects of the meeting. So the question we want to throw out to planners is, are you being asked to make cuts that have a real impact on the attendee experience? So we're looking to see what comes out of that discussion.
Great. And then tell me about the next couple ones we can hear about.
Yeah, we will be talking about, there's two more surveys we'll talk about that both touch on gender and equity. The first survey is the salary survey, which is by far our most popular and best read survey. And one of the interesting findings is the consistent disparity between how much males make and females make in the industry. It's always, it's about 23% this year. So our question to the people in the audience are, why is that? Do you think there's discrimination? And if so, why? And the second survey is on speakers. And we asked, how do you find speakers? What are you looking for when you hire speakers? And a very provocative finding was that most people do not look to balance gender and diversity in their speakers. So we're going to talk about that and say why or why not. Do you do that? For those that do, what are good reasons to do that, and how do you do that?
That'd be fascinating to hear about. And then what is the fourth one that we can expect?
The fourth one is our ethics survey. So this wasn't a question on the ethics survey, but came out of a lot of the open-ended comments, which is that the hosted buyer model in our industry, while it is not in and of itself unethical, it is ripe for unethical practices. So we really want to ask whether it's become something that's a problem in our industry, whether people are becoming hosted buyers where they don't really have any business with those destinations. And we're going to have, I think, a really good discussion about that.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great conference.
Thank you.
This is PCMA TV.